What's going on, guys? I'm your host from the East Coast, Jinder Man 94, here to give you guys my WWE Smackdown live review for September 20th, 2016. Now, announced yesterday on Monday Night Raw were two nice matches to be set up on SmackDown Live, and that's Dean Ambrose versus John Cena and The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler for the IC Championship. So, let's get right into the show. We kick it off with Daniel Bryan in the middle of the ring, and he's setting up for a women's contract signing for the championship match at No Mercy between Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Daniel was like, we're going to keep this civil, and, we're not, I know how these things usually go, but we're not going to have that. And you already knew once he said it that it was just going to happen anyway. So Becky Lynch came out, and, she was talking about, she's not going to start any trouble. She's got her tough skin on, and, let's go. Bring it on. Come at me, brah. So Alexa Bliss comes out, and then, she, of course, starts throwing jabs at her, saying she wasn't born to be a champion, and, just what's going to happen in No Mercy is she's going to lose her title, and it's just going to be a staple of her career because, she's going to have a height of success, and then she's going to leap into epic failure. So she was just using her best material to get under Becky's skin. And Becky was like, you're right. I wasn't born to be a champion. I was born, in Ireland to do some other stuff, but, thank God I paid attention when they said I could be anything. And that's what I did. I worked my butt off to get here, and now I am champion. I wanted to be champion that bad that even though I wasn't born to do it, I still did it anyway because I wanted to. And she was pretty much just talking about her drive and her motivation that led her to become the first SmackDown Women's Champion. And I love that because, all throughout her WWE career, she said that, she wasn't supposed to be here. She worked her tail off to get here. So, of course, people are going to throw jabs at her like, hey, you don't deserve to be champion. You shouldn't be champion. And she's like, yeah, you're right. But I worked hard, and I did my best, and I'm here, and now I'm the champion. So now you got to do something about it. So, yeah, I really like this segment here. And after that, of course, Alexa went to go sign the contract, threw it at Becky, flipped the table over on her, and she got the heck up out of there. Becky, of course, was not having none of that, and she followed closely behind her and then started attacking her until she eventually ran off. But, yeah, like I said, Becky has been telling her story since she's gotten to the main roster about, how she worked hard and everything, and I think that was portrayed here in this segment, and I like that. And, of course, Alexa got the nice little heel heat that she was supposed to get, so it worked out. It worked out on both sides. When Daniel Bryan was walking backstage after this was all over, The Miz confronts him. He was pissed that he has a title match against Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown. Daniel was like, hey, it's no problem. We can cancel the match. We cancel your contract too because obviously you didn't read it. And Miz was like, what? What are you talking about? He was like, oh, all those lawyers you had, read over your contract and you didn't read it? Oh man, that's crazy. I thought you would read the contract. You wanted it so bad and we gave it to you, but you didn't even read it. You said last week that if we were able to strike a deal, you would defend your IC championship, and that's in the contract that you signed. So if we cancel it, then hey, you just lose your title and you're out of a job. So we could do that too. That's fine. And Miz was like stunned. He was just like, oh, you got one up on me. Because Daniel was like, were you too busy, throwing more jabs at me and, just trying to embarrass me on Twitter? Or was it the fact that you, I don't know, man. It was just crazy. Oh, no, this is what Daniel said. He was like, you were too busy throwing jabs at me on Twitter to actually read your contract and realize that you were going to have to defend your title if we struck a deal. And it was just hilarious because he got one up on The Miz, and it was just so funny. The Miz was just so stunned. He didn't know what to say to him. He was just like, you son of a... I hate you so much. And, Daniel just had extreme pleasure in making The Miz's life a living hell tonight. And, then he also was like, if you lose your title, you won't be able to, what was that you said? Do what I can't do anymore? And The Miz just walked away. He's like, yeah, we ain't got no problems, big homie. We ain't got no problems. So that was funny. First match we had was the Usos versus American Alpha. And if you remember back to the tag team tournament before Backlash, American Alpha actually beat the Usos to advance to the finals, but the Usos beat down Chad Gable and took out his MCL, injured it to the point where American Alpha couldn't compete, and the Usos took their place. So, of course, American Alpha was pissed off. So they had this nice little match. I liked how Chad Gable came out aggressive and pissed off because they injured him, took away his chance at being the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And, it was just like he was still hurt a little bit, but he was just more focused and driven than ever because they embarrassed the Usos. They beat him in like 30 seconds. So that was the reason why the Usos, turned heel and, started taking them out. But I like this match though. The Usos' new heel persona, I love it. Even they could keep their entrance, to be honest, because the way they come out, they just got this swag to them. They're heels. They don't laugh. They're not dabbing no more. They just walk straight to the ring, sit on the turnbuckles, and wait to do work. And I love it. It's a nice little aggressive side to their whole character. And their in-ring work has changed as well. Because if you notice, while they're, doing their stuff in the ring, getting the heat from the crowd, they're neutralizing a body part. And they know they took out Chad Gable's MCL, so what are they going to do? They're going to work on it, and that's exactly what they did for the whole match. They know that, the American Alpha's finishing move is Grand Amplitude. It requires a lot of physical strength, especially from the legs, because of how it's executed. So if you take that out, you neutralize one of their finishing moves to potentially put away the Usos. So, yeah, for the whole match, they were working Gable. Jason Jordan got in, but when he was, beat up to the point where he needed to tag out, he looked over at Chad Gable, and Chad Gable's knee was just giving out. He was like, you know what? I don't want my partner to get hurt any more than he already is. He's already struggling to stay on the apron. So he just tried to finish the match out himself, and it eventually led to the Usos double teaming him, hitting him with the double super kicks, and they were able to pick up the win. I understand exactly why Jason Jordan didn't want to tag in Chad Gable, because the Usos would have went right back to that knee and possibly caused even more damage than what was already caused. And he didn't want that to happen. He just took the pin for the team. He just took one for the team, and more credit to the Usos, because I love what they're doing right now, and they're future tag team champions again. And yeah, great match. You had Rhino and Heath Slater who were watching the match in the back. Heath Slater was kind of worried, but kind of not worried, just saying, hey, we got to face them in No Mercy, but we can beat them. Yeah, we can do this. And then the Usos, after their match, went right into the back, right to Heath Slater and Rhino. It's like, look, you got two options. You can either give us these titles right now, or we going to take out Heath Slater's knee at No Mercy. And Rhino's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want no problem, big fella. You don't want to do that. And, so the Usos already have a strategy going into No Mercy to take the titles away from Heath Slater and Rhino. So we'll see what they do, because of course Heath Slater and Rhino weren't going to give up the titles. I hope you guys didn't think that was going to happen. But I like this as well. They finished their match, they did work in the ring, and they went back and told the champions they were going to take the titles, so you better just hand them over or we're going to injure you. Like, that's badass. That's just badass. Like, you go right to your opponents and tell them either give up the titles or we're going to hurt you. You see what we just did to Chad Gable. We going to do that to you? Man, that's just badass at its finest. I love that. That was just amazing. After that, we had Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. A rivalry stemming back from their NXT days. And last week when Jack Swagger appeared on SmackDown, he kind of went face-to-face with Baron Corbin a little bit, just from a distance. Baron Corbin left, and then Jack Swagger started talking. So Jack Swagger was on commentary, and, Baron Corbin and Crews were having their match. It was a pretty much flat-out brawl between these guys. There was no love lost from their NXT days. It seems like Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger are going to have a rivalry pretty soon. That's at least what it seems like they're building up to. The match was alright. Wasn't too great, wasn't too bad. It was average match. Corbin won with the end of days, because, like I said, they were just killing each other, throwing each other into barricades and ring posts and stuff. Like, this wasn't a wrestling match. This was a brawl. Baron Corbin came up with the win, and then after the match, he went outside in the ring, and I think he said, to Jack Swagger, stay out of his way or something like that. But I like that. More character development for Baron Corbin, because he's still the lone wolf, and he's still one of the most badass people on SmackDown. And he just wanted to let Jack Swagger know that even though you're new here, this is still my territory, so don't come around here thinking you're just going to take over. So, I like that. Don't really care about Jack Swagger that much, but I don't know, maybe they'll have a good match. I'm not going to completely bury it yet. So after this, we have Nikki Bella and Naomi in the back talking about the women's division, how great it is. Naomi dropped a nice little promo, and I loved what she did here. She was explaining the whole Feel the Glow movement. She was just talking about it's a way to overcome adversity and the negativity that's thrown at you, and all the other things that people are going to try to throw at you, and they just let her explain what her whole character is about, and I like that, because you just see her entrance and it's just like a glow-in-the-dark entrance, but it's just a way of her getting out all the negativity and all the adversity, people saying that she can't do it, the naysayers. And she was like, Nikki Bella's going through that herself, and she's fought her way back to the WWE, and she definitely got some glow in her. So I guess that's what the whole Feel the Glow is about. And I love that they let her explain it. And then Nikki Bella was talking about, how Carmella's been attacking her, and, they've had their little thing for the past couple of weeks. And she was just saying she's fighting every match like it's her last. She's not the Nikki Bella of old. She's fighting with more of a purpose, because you never know when it could be her last match. Coming back from a serious injury like that, they were told she might not even wrestle again. So I like what they did here. They were able to explain, their motivation and what they're going to do, since they're not in the title picture per se right now. And they had a tag match with Natalya and Carmella later on that night, or later on tonight. So next we had Dolph Ziggler right before his match, right outside of Gorilla, talking about, The Miz is a disgrace to the Intercontinental Championship, and he has to prove that he can win the big one, prove that he still belongs, prove that he can still steal the show. And he's been on a losing streak lately, but he has to get it together, he has to recuperate and overcome The Miz and Maurice, who was not banned from ringside during their match that was up next, which is the IC Championship match. And that was a gripe I had, because last time they faced, and it was at Backlash, Maurice was the deciding factor in the match. She sprayed something in Dolph's eyes or whatever, and it led to him being, unable to see, and The Miz able to pick up the victory off of that. So I'm just wondering, if Daniel made the match, why not ban Maurice from ringside? It didn't make any sense to me. But let's get into the match here, because I actually like the match. You can feel the desperation, coming off of Dolph Ziggler, trying to win the big one, trying to prove everybody wrong, as he always does. Things Dean said when he was going after the WWE Championship. You're always going to try to prove people wrong, and, you're so focused on what other people think about you. So maybe that's playing into the fact that, Dolph's been on this losing streak lately. Not many things they can do differently from their other matches. I still enjoyed the match, but they fought so many times. There's nothing really too different you could do. Maybe a few different spots here and there, but it was a solid match. But yeah, I didn't understand why Maurice was at ringside. And of course, she played a role in the match. She got called by the ref trying to spray Dolph Ziggler in the face once again. And I'm just like, Daniel, why is she not banned from ringside? But the ref caught her, and he threw her out of the match immediately. He knew that she had, interference in the last match, so he was just like, nah, we ain't gonna do this again. We not gonna do this. You out of here. So he kicked her out right as she was about to spray Ziggler. Miz was, livid. He was like, why'd you kick my wife off the match? Typical heel stuff. Of course, he's gonna try to say she did nothing wrong. But then, they got into a very physical contest after that. A bunch of near falls, a bunch of moves that you would thought were going to end the match, a bunch of roll-up pins, and just a good match between these guys. So The Miz was trying to run away near the end of the match from Dolph Ziggler because he felt like the match was slipping away from him. Dolph wasn't going to let him. He had all the momentum in the world. They get back into the ring, and the ref's view was obstructed, and The Miz grabbed the spray that Maurice was going to use and sprayed Dolph Ziggler with it. I didn't even see him pick it up. I was just like, oh man, he sprayed him in the face. And then he, proceeded to hit the skull crushing finale and pick up the victory over Dolph Ziggler, who's lost another big championship match. But he didn't lose clean. So he does have, some ammo to work with here. He has a legitimate reason to have another match. The Miz keeps shooting himself in the foot because, he's not beating him clean. He keeps using dirty tactics, as a heel does from time to time, to pick up these wins, but it's not going to make Dolph Ziggler go away. If you don't beat him cleanly now, he's going to keep coming back. Like, hey, you cheated, you cheated, you cheated. So I think The Miz is just shooting himself in the foot here. I think they're going to have their final match at No Mercy. I think that's what's going to culminate from all of this. But I like how Maurice got caught. Got kicked out of the match. I like that element. If she was going to be there, of course she was going to interfere again, try to help out her husband. So I just like the fact that they were able to, get her caught and get her out of there. And then The Miz was able to pick up where she left off, pick up the win for himself. But it keeps Dolph Ziggler around. It doesn't just completely put him away. So we'll see where it goes from there. I'm excited to see what happens after that. But a good match. We had Randy Orton versus Eric Rowan, and the story behind this match was, last week, Orton, was talking to Bray, and was ambushed behind by Eric Rowan, who I guess is with the Wyatt family again. I don't know what they're doing here, because, Eric Rowan he lost this match with Orton, but the fact that Bray seemed disappointed in him last time he lost the match, and just kind of walked away from him, like, is he forgiving him? Like, they didn't really clear the air on that too much. So I was a little bit confused. I don't know if the fact that Luke Harper's coming back, maybe they're going to redo the Wyatt family again, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But it's very, very confusing. Not really too clear on that. But anyway, they had the match. Roman was beating up Orton for a little bit. And what seems to be happening a lot in Randy Orton's matches is he'll take majority of the beating until he can hit an RKO out of nowhere. And that just seems to be how they're going to go about it with him now. It's fine. I don't really... He's nearing the end of his career, to be honest. He's been injured so many times. I don't think he's going to, do anything too crazy anymore. He'll let the heat get the heat off of him, just beating him down and everything. And then he'll just hit the RKO out of nowhere, get the crowd pop, and then that's how he'll win majority of his matches going forward. It was alright. It didn't go that long anyway. And then after the match, of course, Bray Wyatt and his weird promos, he was just laughing, saying, they still have beef, and till death do them part, they will be going after each other. And that the problem is Orton is still a man and Bray is a god. So I'm guessing they're going to probably have the match they were supposed to have at Backlash at No Mercy, because Orton had a concussion and was unable to compete in that match. But I don't know, man. I think they're really dropping the ball here with Bray Wyatt. He's such a great talent, and I know he's been injury prone as well. But still, man, at the same time, this man is great. His promos are excellent. His ring work is great for his size. He's a great worker inside the ring. And I think I did a video about how they were wasting the Wyatt family. It should be on my channel somewhere. Maybe I'll put it in the description. If I can remember to put it in the description, I'll definitely do that. But they're just wasting this man. He's a great talent. And, with Luke Harper coming back, I don't know what direction they're going in with the Wyatt family, but maybe they can have them, win the tag team championships. That'll be some good heat to get, off of them. Beat Heath Slater and Rhino. They're over right now. The crowd loves them. If you're going to have somebody, elevated in this process, why not them? I don't think... Luke Harper has won the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think him and Roman won the tag team championships, if I can remember. And Bray hasn't won a title yet. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what they're doing, but they're definitely wasting him. Next we had what was supposed to be the women's tag team match, Nikki Bella and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. But the Carmella and Nikki Bella saga continues after she went after Nikki Bella before the match even got started. I kind of looked down and looked up, and the match was like over. I think she got herself disqualified by attacking Nikki Bella or whatever. The match didn't even really happen. I was disappointed. I wanted to see that match. I thought it was going to be good. So yeah, Carmella and Nikki Bella are eventually going to have their match, but I like the little side rivalries they have going on here. It's like they don't just, do one specific thing. They actually have a bunch of different things that they're doing. They don't just have the Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss storyline going on. They actually have, the Nikki Bella and Carmella thing. They keep screwing each other over in the title matches. And yeah, Carmella's trying to elevate herself off of Nikki Bella. And, different dynamic, different aspects of the women's division. They only have so much they can do, but I like it. They're actually utilizing their women talent. So we had AJ talking about the Dean Ambrose and John Cena match that was going to happen in the main event. And he was asked about his rivalry with them. He was like, wait, I beat them both. I don't have a rivalry with them. I'm the champion. I'm the face that runs the place. I'm the champ that runs the camp. I don't have beef with them. I beat them. I don't even know why I'm in this match at No Mercy. Why am I facing these guys? What have they done to deserve a chance at me? And he was just like, he'll sit back and relax and watch them hurt each other in the match. And then we have the main event. For the first time ever, these two go one-on-one. John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Fresh matchup. And I love this because that's what they said on SmackDown, that they haven't faced each other. I'm sure the Shield has done something to John Cena before, but one-on-one, him and Dean Ambrose have not fought before. Cena trying to prove that he can still hang, and Dean trying to prove he's the new top dog on SmackDown, and that, John Cena is not able to hang with him anymore. They put it all out there. Great storytelling in the ring. It does work for AJ to do some more scouting on his opponents, even though he's beaten them. But, he can still scout them out, maybe some different things that they're doing that he can look out for at No Mercy. Hell of a contest between these guys. They were both, hitting their finishers on each other and, just trying to take each other out. Dean looked really good in this match. And, that's the positive of working with John Cena. He's able to elevate you, to bring out the best of you. So you can, because he don't really care. If you want to be creative in a match, let's be creative. And, it was a really creative match. I like what they did. And Dean, my goodness, Dean Ambrose pinned John Cena clean. Let me tell you why I love this. Coming from a Cena fan and a Dean Ambrose fan, I've been a Cena fan since, 03? Whenever he started Basic Thuganomics Cena, I've been a fan of him. Still been a fan of him. I'm sorry if you guys don't like that, but I'm a John Cena fan. But let me tell you why this was great. Because John Cena doesn't get pinned that often, especially on Raw and SmackDown. He'll take a pin on a pay-per-view, okay, fine. But he doesn't really get pinned on Raw and SmackDown. This was great for Dean Ambrose. He was able to pin John Cena. I don't think you guys know the importance of that pin right there. It's John Cena. They always talk about, he doesn't lose clean, or he doesn't really lose that often, especially on the regular shows every week. Dean Ambrose was able to beat John Cena. He's in the triple threat match with him and AJ at No Mercy. So it makes him look like a legit champion, a legit contender for the championship, a person that can legit win the match. Because so often they always have the triple threat matches, and then they'll have two people who either one of these two are going to win, and then you got the third person who isn't really going to win the match. So I love the fact, because we know John Cena can beat AJ, we know John Cena can beat Dean Ambrose, but the only question was, could Dean Ambrose beat John Cena if he had to? If it came down to that in No Mercy for the title, could Dean Ambrose pull it off? And he showed here on SmackDown in the main event that he can pin John Cena. He can weaken him down to the point where he can pin him. And I loved it. It was great. It's great for Dean. It really is. Because, it seemed like he was just a transitional champion at first. And then, he took the championship. He was challenged by Stone Cold on his podcast to do a lot more with the title. And that's exactly what he's done. And then he lost the title to AJ in a great match. But he lost the title to AJ, but now he's still trying to prove that he can be champion again. And, don't sleep on him. Just because he won the championship one time doesn't mean he won't win it again. And he took out one of the best in the WWE in John Cena in a hell of a main event to prove that he's coming for the title. He wants his title back, and he means business. So that was a great match, great outcome. Cena looked good, of course, and Dean looked great. Coming off of the win against John Cena, future Hall of Famer here, guys. After the match, though, Daniel Bryan came out, congratulated Dean on his. Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead. AJ Styles came out to attack John Cena, and then he attacked Dean Ambrose. I think he hit him with the Pele kick. And, taking him out, celebrating. Then Daniel Bryan came out, congratulated AJ. Hey, you took him out. Great. That's good for you. But remember last week when Shane said that Dean Ambrose would get his one-on-one match against you? Yeah, that's going to happen next week. And AJ was like, oh, come on. So not only does Dean get the chance at No Mercy, but he gets his rematch from when he lost at Backlash. He gets it next Tuesday on SmackDown. And guys, guess where that SmackDown is going to be? Did you guess it? It's going to be right here in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there at SmackDown to watch that championship match. I've never seen AJ wrestle in person. So this is going to be great. Dean Ambrose is from Cincinnati, so the crowd's going to love him, of course. He's an Ohio boy. We get to see AJ Styles. Oh, it's going to be so epic. I'm going to try to vlog some stuff for you guys, and that'll probably just be my review for next week. Because I'm going to be there. Me and my friends are going, and you'll see. It's just going to be an amazing experience, and I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so sweet. So after Daniel Bryan announced this, and of course AJ was just like, dude, what the heck, man? Why am I in the title match next week? He turns around. Dean Ambrose got back up because you ain't put him down. And he hit AJ with the dirty deed. So can't wait for that match. That's going to be the main event, I'm pretty sure, next week. Oh, it's going to be so sick. I can't wait to see that match. I hope that match is epic. It sounds epic, and I believe it will be epic. But yeah, that's it for SmackDown. I like how they're developing stories and developing characters. The Usos, I love what they're doing with that. I love how they're developing their heel persona. They're not so much about the gimmicks anymore, the high flying, over the top rope stuff. They do it occasionally, but that's not their whole gimmick anymore. They're not about getting the crowd to hype them up. They hype themselves up. And they'll take out any and everybody, and they know how to do it. So that strong Samoan background is really showing with these two guys. I love what they're doing there. I love what they're doing with Dean. I love how they have AJ as champion. I love how John Cena is putting people over but still able to have great matches. I love what they're doing with the women's division. I love what they're doing with that. They're having their heels, do heelish things, and they're having their faces give inspirational talks. I love what they're doing with the tag team division. Rhino and Heath Slater are definitely over with the crowd, and continuing the whole story ever since the draft. They've been developing that, so that's just great as well. Just SmackDown as a whole is great. It's still better than Raw, and I think it's the fact that it's 2 hours. They have to get straight to the point. And I was talking about this on my good buddy Daniel's wrestling channel on the Raw review. I was telling him, we were both in agreement that it's the 3 hour thing. Raw is 3 hours, so they just think they have all the time in the world to do any and everything. And then SmackDown only has 2 hours, so they gotta get straight to the point with stuff. If you guys want to check out that review, it'll be down in the description as well. So that'll be it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I'm excited for No Mercy to come up in here in a few weeks. I think it seems like every 2 weeks there's going to be a pay-per-view. I don't know how that's going to work out, but hey, we'll see. I'll have my predictions video for Clash of Champions up probably either Wednesday or Thursday. It'll be before Friday or Saturday, so one of those 2 days you'll get my predictions video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy SmackDown. Let me know what you think about the character development and everything that's going on with SmackDown and how they're portraying their superstars. And like the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. We love to talk wrestling over here. Comment down in the comment section. I'll be responding to you guys. Whatever. Just go ahead and comment. And I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace.